What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kyle Carroll with MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA Podcast. Tonight, I am joined with Mike Basile. Mike, how you doing?
I'm great, brother. Great intro, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, you got a big fight coming on March 6th at Jackhammer Promotions, the Beatdown 6. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's my first fight back since the summer of last year. My first MMA fight back. I did a kickboxing fight in Coney Island in October, which was fun. But yeah, my first MMA fight back this
A
year.
little different, I'm assuming. No grappling. I know grappling's your big forte, but little standing on the feet action, little higher pace.
Oh yeah, big time. The last since the summer of last year, we've been working on nothing but boxing and wrestling. So wrestling just to help shape up a lot of things on the ground, but our boxing is vastly improved.
Awesome. And you said you worked in on wrestling. I know one of your last fights was against Carlos Torres, who's a pretty strong wrestler. Is that
Big
the
time.
reason for that, to kind of figure out
Yeah,
like to fill in the holes?
big time. Yeah, I didn't. I was a little too complacent with my jiu-jitsu in order to think that I can beat a wrestler without without a backup plan.
And he's a strong wrestler. He's definitely a talented wrestler. He
Yeah,
did a pretty good job, like you're saying, neutralizing your position. We're talking
yeah.
about Carlos Torres, but you've been training, you've been working hard. Tell us a little bit about how the training's going and how you feel going into this.
Uh, well, I tell you right now, this is actually the best I felt in previous fight camps up until this point. Now, after October last year, I took about I don't want to say about a week off just to let some injuries heal up. A couple weeks to take some injuries, just let them heal up and whatnot. But this whole winter, we were focused on boxing technique, shaping up the kickboxing, and then I've been spending, I want to say, 6 days a week in the gym as well, on top of the regular training I've already been doing. But strength and conditioning have been a big part in the off season, trying to build up a new repertoire for myself.
Awesome. And your opponent, Brock Morgan, you said one of your teammates have fought him before. What
Yeah.
did you see about him that you believe might be a challenge for you?
Um, well, I haven't seen much of his wrestling. I've tried doing a lot of research on this kid, and I couldn't find really anything from him. I believe he went to Columbia University for his wrestling, and I couldn't find any matches on him besides one I found 5 years ago. Uh, but I noticed that he's very patient, especially with his kickboxing. His stand up, he was very patient when he was going up against Ryan Jarena.
Okay.
He had great combinations, and he looked, I'll say, elusive, a little slick. But anybody going up against Ryan Jarena, that's just that's just a recipe for disaster. It's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough fucking
he's
sparring with
talented.
that guy. Yeah.
You talk about training with him. What do you learn from a guy like Ryan, who is so talented? A guy who's definitely going to make waves when he goes to the next level.
Training with a guy like Ryan, it shows you he will pinpoint every hole you have in your game, and then expose you for it every minute of the round. Like
Mhm.
going to the ground with him is always a mistake because I didn't realize how good his ground and pound is on top of his wrestling. So that's one hole in my game that I had to work on as well. His patience and him picking his strikes when he wants to, and then without even knowing it, just myself walking into him and then walking into his shots without even thinking about it. And I'm
Mhm.
very cautious nowadays about where I want to move, how I want to move my head, my footwork. Guy catches me coming in every fucking time.
He's that talented, huh? He really understands what people are doing and able to adjust on the fly.
Well, with him, it's yes, there's a level of talent with him, but it's just the amount of work that guy puts
Mhm.
in is it's astronomically crazy. I mean, he's down South Carolina right now, I believe, training with
Okay.
Wonder Boy, and then
Oh,
he's on
all
his way to
right.
Texas, and then he's coming back up. So I guarantee you, by the time he comes back, he's already had about 300 rounds of sparring.
And I know he went down to or out to Jesus, Thailand, right, for a while. He
Yep.
was
Oh
there for
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he went to Africa to go on a retreat. He was taking care of lions and whatnot, and
Okay.
yeah, it was crazy. But
Was he wrestling the Lions?
I guaranteed he was. Um, but he also went to Thailand, and when he was in Thailand, that's when the pandemic first started. So I think his return was a little bit delayed because of that. We all thought he was just going to live there
Hmm.
because we didn't know how the pandemic was going to pan out.
Just not
But
coming back.
yeah, he had fun though. He made friends. You
That's
know?
awesome.
Yeah.
But you're the one fighting. You got this big fight coming up. Tell us a little bit about what you and how you feel you've changed since you first started to now, right before this fight.
From where I started to about now is I'm a whole different fighter now. The idea of playing off my back and going for submissions nowadays isn't really my forte. Although my jiu-jitsu game has improved, I'm more or less trying to stay off my back and just put the pressure up on top. Um, a few of my buddies, Sundar Singh and Jacob LaRoche, Jacob just had a fought. Actually, both of them just fought this past Saturday. Kudos to them. But we all went out to Ohio for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and my girlfriend asked me, like, there's a million fucking competitions around here. Like, why are you going all the way out to Ohio? Um, my idea was that, okay, that's wrestlers country out there. Yeah, you got
Oh yeah,
Pennsylvania, Ohio, got
oh
New
yeah,
York,
yep.
like you got all those people out there. So why not? Um, but
And for those who don't really understand, there's a like I lived in Wisconsin and coached wrestling in Wisconsin too for a while. The wrestling in on Long Island and New York is very stand up game, takedowns, very strong and slick on the feet. We're out in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania. It's very ground and poundish, very
yeah,
tough on the ground. So I'm sure you
very.
saw and witnessed a lot of guys who are probably tough on the ground.
Oh, very. I was watching match for match when I had some downtime, and it was incredible seeing some of the wrestlers out there. But we went out there with the purpose of win, lose, draw. It didn't matter. I
Mhm.
brought home gold. I
Awesome.
defeated both my opponents, but the main purpose of going out there was testing my abilities and testing the new things I've been working on, and being pressure heavy, staying on top, moving on top, keeping them on their backs and whatnot, and it proved to be fruitful. And I don't
Mhm.
know how it's going to pan out with another wrestler, but at least I know that I have a better shot at taking this guy to the ground and keeping him there instead of being put on my back and trying to fight from there.
It's almost like a more offensive position, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you're out, you feel like you're on the attack when you're on the top, a little more confidence.
100%. And it's proven to be again fruitful during my MMA sparring and whatnot. I go up against monsters and bombers all the time, so to
Mhm.
be able to get on top, stay on top of these guys, and apply a new game is it just builds the confidence.
Awesome. And I'm sure that helps your mental game going into this. You sound pretty
Big
mentally
time.
focused, especially you're going out to Ohio. You got the gold coming back. I'm sure that probably puts a lot of confidence in your pocket.
Big time. And it's nice to think about that. I'm going into here with a new game plan instead of trying the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same results. This is the
Mhm.
anti definition of insanity. I don't want to. I love jujitsu and I love the jujitsu to death. I even got the hat with me at all times. But you know, it, grappling is king. But I have to expand my game, otherwise I'm just going to be a dead fish.
I love the fact though that you guys went to like Ohio to try out like different areas and stuff because one of the first things you hear about like for wrestling, the top tier wrestlers when they're young or when they're training early in their career, they're traveling all over the country to try
Yep.
different tournaments and see different things and that's how you learn and figure out things from different people and I love that you guys are doing that.
Oh yeah, and I'm not shy to drive. It was 10.5 hours just to get there. It
Nice.
was horrendous, but it was it
Sweet
was
little
definitely
road
worth the
trip.
drive. It's just to get out of my own bubble. Like I've competed in Connecticut, I've competed in New Jersey, I've competed in New York, and it's like just to get out of the tri-state area and just get out of my bubble is something that I was looking forward to doing. Just
That's
seeing new
awesome.
faces, seeing what's out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's awesome. Now you've fought quite a few fights already in your amateur career. Success on March 6th. Where does that bring you in your career as an amateur? Another amateur fight, or are we going to the next level?
We're sticking in the amateurs for now. I
Okay.
feel like I haven't gotten enough experience yet to make that leap, but this year we're uh we're planning on it being fruitful. Win, lose, draw. At this point, I'm not a perfect fighter. I don't have a perfect record, and nothing I'm going to do is going to change that. So what I can do from this point on is just do my best every single fight here on afterwards, and then just, find the holes in my game, fix them, and then move on. Because then when I get to the pros, like how we talked about before, when I get to
Hmm.
face every single kind of person I want to face, at least I know when I get to the pros, I won't have an issue with what's put in front of me.
Absolutely. And now I know you've fought some wrestlers now, and you just did a kickboxing fight. Which one do you feel more comfortable against?
Um, Honestly, both. You
Okay.
know, it- the wrestlers, and not for nothing, going up against Carlos Torres last year, it really kind of put things into perspective for me. Because I've faced some good opponents,
Hmm.
but I haven't
Absolutely.
faced a traditional style wrestler. Like where that's his forte. It's not like he's a
Hmm.
striker and a wrestler, but an actual wrestler. Yeah, that's something that I've had to deal with. I had to go through that in order to get to that next level. Um, and then, Elijah Sampson, who actually just fought on ECF this past Saturday, um, he was the guy I fought in Coney Island, and whew, that guy can hit like a brick shed house. That was a fun fight too. And yeah, being in just in a traditional kickboxing sense, it's again, it's opened my eyes to just the opportunities that are out there for me to expand my game. But I feel like, as in both situations, I feel a lot better in both areas after facing both those kind of guys.
Absolutely. I think that's awesome that you're doing that. And, like you said, you were going to hang around amateurs for a little bit. Um, what are you doing for yourself? Like you're not on the mat, you're not training. You changing the way you do your routine before fights, outside of training, or anything like that?
Yes, sir. So I'm trying to focus on getting more alone time, because I love spending time with my girlfriend, my dog, family, and whatnot, but just starting to get more alone time and starting to read a lot more, starting to meditate a
Awesome.
lot more, just trying to open up my mental capability of things, because I feel sometimes I'm very closed-minded
Hmm.
when I'm training, and this, like, I'm just hyper focused on that, and I'm not trying to find out who I am. Because I get so distracted with, family life, and then my friends, and training and all that. I don't, I know this is who I am, but
Hmm.
you know, at least getting some alone time and figuring myself out, it brings it to a different level of consciousness that I'm able to access. So it helps me become a better fighter.
Absolutely. I think alone time is important for everyone, especially like I go camping, get my alone time away from electronics and everything else.
Yep.
What are some of the books you're reading?
A lot of finance books, but also a lot of uh, I'm not going to say like motivational books and self-help books, but one guy I've been listening to a lot of lately is Jordan Peterson, just more philosophy,
Okay.
things like that. He's been my main guy for the last couple of books. But just seeing the world around me for what it is and helping expand my mind.
If you're ever interested in like philosophy type books with sports, John Wooden, is a coach for UCLA. Phenomenal.
Right.
He's got a handful of books out, and they're phenomenal.
Really?
English teacher talks about just the fundamentals and details and everything. He gets into a lot of different things. Created like a pyramid of success. He's definitely someone I
Wow.
suggest reading. Is awesome.
Yeah, give me the information after this. I'd like to look into him.
Yeah, will do. He's awesome person, individual to read about, and then he writes well, and it's good stuff.
Nice.
But
Oh, that's very cool.
yeah, so you're doing that. That's pretty cool because I think a lot more people need to do that. Are you a yoga guy? I wasn't sure if you are or you aren't.
I've been dabbling in it more often lately than I have before. Uh, it's definitely fun. It's so challenging, and I figured doing jujitsu is it would help, but no.
Well, 'cause I know a lot of guys that do it. They always talk about the breathing. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
that's something you ever dabbled in, and then like fitness, excuse me, to be successful on the next level. Nutrition's obviously an important aspect.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Um, I've been fixing up my diet a lot more lately. I know some people have gone keto. I know a couple of my teammates have gone vegan and stuff like that. I try to dabble into just, last time I told you is that I avoid things that have commercials, and now I'm
Mhm.
finally starting to follow through with that. Because sometimes here and there, yeah, Oreos fucking look great to me, so I can't avoid that all the time. But
A little
um,
glass of milk,
that's where you get me. That's exactly where you get me. You tell me there's Oreos there, I'm there.
done.
Um, but no, just trying to stick to a more healthier diet.
Hmm.
I home cooked meals. My crock pot, and my air fryer have been going this entire time. In fact, I have something sitting in there right now, waiting for me. But just trying to eat more. I'm not gonna say healthy, but just the right foods, just what I'm
Just more
supposed to be
conscious
eating.
about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
because I've always given into those temptations of like, fuck it, I'll just go to Taco Bell. I'll just pick this up at the store. I'll pick that up. It's all right, whatever. I'm cutting weight, but no, I'm trying to approach this whole thing differently than what I have been before. I've already had, Christ, I've already had about like 10, 11 fights, and now I'm like, now I'm finally starting to understand, like, okay, I have to do things differently.
I've a lot of guys do. They get into it, especially people who've never cut weight before. So it's interesting
So
to see how people evolve, and you're already making those steps for that professional level. Where a lot of guys they jump into the pro levels and they're not even ready for it. Weight cutting, and you see all these guys miss weight, which is super unprofessional.
yeah,
And I'm sure you've
yeah,
had
I'm never gonna
friends.
be that guy.
Yeah.
I never want to be that guy. In fact, this time we're finally starting to dabble into water cutting,
Okay.
and I've never done that before. I've always trickled down my weight to where like the day of weigh-ins, I'm at exactly at 185. But we're doing something small. I did something over the winter as a test to see how much my
Okay.
body could tolerate, and we did very good. There was no complaints. So if it gives me a competitive edge on something that's I can do no problem, then
Sorry.
we'll go for it. Because I was never no, it's all right. I was never a wrestler growing up, so I never
Mhm.
was in that culture of weight cutting and water cutting. And Christ, my teammate of mine was telling me about spitting into our entire water bottle, just to cut a pound. I'm like,
Yep.
what the hell?
Yeah,
Ugh.
I've seen some crazy things when it comes to weight cutting when I was in high school wrestling and then a couple
Oh,
guys in
jeez.
college. One of my favorite things though, one of my good friends on the team, he would coach would always be like, "Oh, you were losing weight, you cutting weight," and then he would gain weight, and somehow he's like, "No, I ate a meatball hero," and they're like, "No, you didn't. You didn't eat anything." It was hilarious. What was the MTV just
Oh
come?
my god.
But yeah, he's like, I ate a meatball hero and he lost 5 pounds. And then they're yelling at him when he's cutting weight and he's gaining weight. So it was pretty funny.
Oh man, it's such a fucking roller coaster with that. I never got the hype
Trains people.
into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's meant to. It's not even great on the body either. I mean, if you
Not
cut
at
any
all.
more than 10, 15% of your body weight, then I heard guys talking about like doing 20%, 30% of their body weight just in weight cuts, and I'm just like, what the
Mhm.
fuck is wrong with you? Like, Jesus Christ, that's how you die at the scale.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
This is insane.
we're uh
Not worth it.
we're doing it the right way.
Good, good. Glad to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, no, anyone you want to recognize? You got any new sponsors for this fight?
As of right now, no. We're just trying to focus on the fight itself. I've had a one sponsor with me, Blast Double Apparel. That's one of my teammates' clothing company. He does rash guards, shorts. I have a whole fight kit actually
Awesome.
ready for this next fight. They've been very helpful. The guys are always nice to me. They give me, new stuff to try on. Um, always encouraging, always recommending new things for me by my side at all times. So good people there. My girlfriend again for dealing with another fight camp. Yeah, she said to me the other day that the winter was actually nice because I didn't have anything coming up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I won't see you for 6 days out of the week. But no,
I'm
it's
sure that's enjoyable. A little spend some time together.
yeah, yeah, some well needed time.
Awesome, awesome. Prediction for that fight. How do you see it going at Jackhammer Promotions?
It's gonna be bad if I sound cocky.
No, not at all. That's why you're
I
fighting,
want to
right?
kick this. Yeah, I want to kick this fucking dude's head off.
Okay.
I harbor no hate against him. I got no problems with him. But if I'm going in there and I'm doing this job, I'm doing it right. I'm not letting off on him. I'm looking for the ref to stop this fight, whatever it takes. I'm getting in there. If I have to stand up and strike with a dude and put him up against the cage and drop him, that's how I want to do it.
Awesome. Well, I hope you do. I hope to see this fight go 3 rounds and then you kick his head off. But I'm looking forward to seeing you get in there. How can people get tickets for you? I see people asking you on Facebook. How can they get tickets?
Yeah. You can message me directly. I on my Instagram, on Facebook, you can message me directly. I'll hold tickets for you. Otherwise, you can meet me at my gym. I got Vamos in Riverhead, Vamos in Holbrook. And I can even mail it to you if you're too far away. It's no problem to me. But you know, we have a deadline on this because I don't want to be the week of or like 2 days
Yeah.
before the fight when I'm trying to cut weight and I got people like trying to hunt me down for tickets. So hit me up on social media and you'll take it from there.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Are you doing t-shirts too? Get a little combination, get a
Not this
t-shirt
time.
or get a
Next,
ticket, people. Okay. Cool, cool.
nah, not this time. But next fight when we have a little bit more time to think about it, we'll put it
Mm.
together.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tune in. If you're getting tickets, get them now. Reach out to Mike Basile or go to Bobby Campbell. Get some tickets. If you can't go, make sure you can watch it on pay-per-view at
Yep.
jackhammerfights.com. You got Mike Basile versus Brock Morgan. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be 3 rounds of awesome action and then possibly a head flying outside the ring. So, but tune in. Mike, best of luck, man.
I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you for getting me on here again. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Always a pleasure. This is Carol's Corner MMA podcast, and we are signing off.